Take two. I ran out of space on my phone. Good morning. I'll start over. It's New Year's Eve. I wasn't very far in. I'm Barbara. Welcome. Maisie's laying on the bed. Pearl is somewhere. Who knows? It's a rainy, dreary day. I did go out and about yesterday and did some errands, and I forgot to get my underwear. So I need to go out again in the rain, in the drear, to go get my brand new pure white underwear so I can wish 2021 good luck coming in. Do what I can to make next year better. It is a Brazilian tradition that a friend of mine told me about, who was from Brazil, that what she did when she was a kid, and it was every year. And so far, you know, so this is my bookshelf. I've picked my colors. I'll put the picture there that I sent Christy. Picked my colors. I ended up with 16 colors because when I looked at the highs, there weren't that many days that were above 95, and there weren't that many days, hardly any, where the high was below 20. So I put them in range. I may have to change the range at the top if it's a very hot summer. We have a lot of orange. But, so here's my fabric I'm going to use. I did try to use the Flexion pen yesterday using a light box, and that did not go well. So I will be using carbon paper today and doing it today and getting my bookshelf on my fabric. I have my needles. I'm all set. I need to get a project bag, and I need to find an embroidery hoop. And then I'll be ready to go. The other thing is, I put away I decided to do the bookshelf in a green. There's a variegated green in here that a wool, Christy called it dip dyed. Here it is. I think this is what I'm going to do the bookshelf in. And I think my current plan is to outline the books. And I'll probably do that in like a brown. There's a couple of blackish colors that look like they would work. Steel and... Anyway, so I think in the end I'm going to use all colors from... Maybe something like that. Nut. All colors from my DeevaaS yarns. Flosses. Advent. That you all saw me open. And I think everything that I use will be from that. So one of the things that I did yesterday was I went to my local yarn shop. And I had talked to you about Kate from Hawthorne Cottage Craft, who did a floss tube this year, was doing a mini, she was doing a cardigan using her minis, and she was putting them with mohair, a cream-colored mohair. And it was a beautiful, beautiful effect. And it muted all the minis so that, you know, it made them all look a little bit like they all went together. And anyway, I love the way it looked, and I bought some mohair thinking that I might do that too. But I didn't get the cream. I got gray. I'm a little concerned that gray might mute things down a little too much, but probably not. So I'm going to be swatching up some Kid Silk Haze in this kind of gray color to go with my minis, both the light and the dark, and see what I come up with. Because I'm thinking that might be the way I'm going to go with using my minis for a cardigan or a pullover. I wore my A couple of people asked me my granito the other day by Joji Locatelli, and it's such a lovely pattern. I might make another granito with gray undertones. What do you think? Well, I'm going to swatch it up and see what I think, how it looks. We'll go from there. So I need to package up a package today and get that out to the post office. Big news, Christie's package tracked into Mississippi. It got tracked into Jacksonville. Jacksonville? Jackson, Mississippi. I'm so excited. So it's not like lost. This will be literally 3 weeks. I mailed it on the 10th. Today's the 31st. 3 weeks. And it had the latest was it had tracked out of Philadelphia a week and a half ago or a week ago, and it was in transit. And, you know, I'm like, oh, it's gone. They found it in Jackson. So it's in her state. I'm so excited. So maybe she'll actually get her Christmas present and her birthday present. Probably not this year. Maybe not till Saturday or Monday, but still, that would be so nice. I'm so excited. So I have to go, anyway, I have to go to the post office, and I have to go get underwear. So I have to go out in the rain today. But other than that, I'm going to be working on my bookshelf, get my tape out, tape down my fabric to my table, tape my carbon paper to my pattern, tape my pattern to my fabric. All very carefully because I'm using linen, and linen has a very strong grain to it. You know, so I want to make sure when I do it that I'm doing it pretty straight on the grain, I would think. I mean, it's not like cross stitch. Well, if it were cross stitch, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I have to worry about it every stitch I did. With doing the embroidery, I have to worry about it now because I need to get it nicely on my fabric. And once I get it on my fabric, I'm good. So that's where the focus will be. The question is, I think this fabric is probably twice as much as I need now that I'm looking at it. I'm wondering if it would make my life a lot easier if I were to cut it. Yes, I think it would make my life easier if I were to cut it closer to the size it's going to be. I think I will do that. And if I'm very careful cutting it along the grain, that would be good. And then I'll need to put some edge stitching on it or something so that it doesn't fray. But I think that's what I will do today to make sure that once I have it transferred, we're good to go. So that's my plan for today. That was my plan for yesterday too, but you know, whatever. I can still do it tomorrow. I have time. I'm not, you know, I know I'm a procrastinator, but I do have time. So anyway, that's my plan for today. I did knit on my wrap yesterday, and I don't know what happened. I dropped a cajillion stitches. It got completely messed up. I had to tear it back. I had to finally stop myself from getting too frustrated, and I'm a little worried about looking at it today, but I probably lost 2 days worth of knitting just because I couldn't figure out how to get it back on the needles without messing it up worse. That's when I stopped. So we'll see how it is today. It may not be nearly as bad as I think. I'm hoping, but I decided to stop. But I did open up one heel on one of my socks while I was feeling destructive. So that's all set up, ready to put a heel in. And then I can do the other one to match. So I may end up with heels in my socks today, or at least getting ready to go. I will, I'm sure, have my bookshelf on, my fabric. Yeah, I'm cutting that fabric. That's the way to go with that. I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure that's the best plan. And then that'll be easier to handle when I'm taping it to my table and taping and doing my outline. So I will be good to go. I have my colors picked when I need to look at the forecast and see what color I'm likely to be using tomorrow. It's probably going to be in the low 40s, which means I will be using crushed berries, silk crushed berries. That's my plan. I guess with the piece I cut off, I could do some practice stitches on the actual fabric. That might be helpful. I have to read my instructions again. Christy has very good instructions, including suggested stitches and how to do them. She has so much information in here. It's really amazing. But stem stitches, running stitch, split stitch, satin stitch, back stitch I know, chain stitch. What's the difference between chain stitch and split stitch? I have to look. I don't know. But I'll read my instructions and find out. And I don't have to do that right in front of you while you're watching me. Anyway, so that's going to be fun. So that's my plan for today. And maybe I will swatch up my Kid Silk Haze and see what that looks like. That's my plan. I hope I talked about this. It wasn't on the first try. I'm feeling discombobulated this morning, and I'm not sure why. I had trouble sleeping in the middle of the night. I got up late. It's late now. This is going to be up late. And I honestly don't know if I told you about the Kid Silk Haze and my ideas for the sweater on this take or take one. I'm going to think I said it on this take, and so you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then I'm going to insert my old beginning right here. And then you'll know what I'm talking about. That's the problem with take two. But I think this is going to be nice. And this is so fine. I mean, it looks dark, but it's so, so fine that, you know, I mean, so fine. You can barely see it. So we shall see. We shall see what an effect it has. I hope it works because I bought 5 of these. Anyway, I have to check the gauge for the Grenado or whatever I'm going to do. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm feeling like I'm fluffing around today. I have to get the underwear. That's the only thing. I'm going to work on my bookshelf and try to get a package out today. And get ready for 2021. It's coming whether I'm ready or not. That's just how it goes. And I don't really have to do anything. It just happens without my participation. In fact, it's already happened in New Zealand. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. They get to have 2020 gone before the rest of us. They're so lucky that way. Bye. So, I will say goodbye. I'm gonna go get my day started. I may do a little recording during the day after I take my shower and I'm put my earrings in and I'm feeling Happy New Year-y. Maybe I'll toast with my champagne. Dennis brought wood in for a fire before the rain came so I could have a fire tonight. And maybe we'll ring in the new year together. If you are interested in a chance to win this lovely yarn, you still have a chance to make a comment below about your hopes and dreams and resolutions for 2021. And I will be organizing that tomorrow during the day and announcing it on the 2nd, on the morning of the 2nd, who won this yarn. And also, today is the last day. Well, tomorrow's the last day to post finished objects in the finished objects thread, but the craft from your stash that the wonderful Leslie from Not Enough Yarn and I are doing. It's our last day. It's our last day. Yeah. But we will be continuing to craft from our stash. Don't worry about it. And I'm very interested in what you're crafting from your stash. So maybe I'll just make a hashtag for it and we can just keep hashtagging it. I am wearing my Portage cardigan today. Last time I wore it inside out. I didn't even notice till the end of the day. I'm like, wait a minute, my pockets are on the wrong side. The pockets were on the inside. Just cozy something, throw it on, because it's a rainy, dreary day. So I will wish you Happy New Year. I will be talking to you probably more later, but you won't see it till tomorrow. So, and for all you lucky people in New Zealand who already got to say goodbye to 2020, we're coming, we're coming. Happy New Year, everybody. See you next year. Bye. Stay safe.